Hello guys and girls, I'm Eric. Welcome back to another video. So big things have happened. The log cabin build is finally happening. At long last, I'm going to have a decent space to put all my stuff in. So to give you a bit of backstory, me and Charlotte bought our own house 2.5, just over years ago, something like that. Since then, I've been crammed into our third bedroom, which is a little 10x6 room. Hence, my layout is actually a lot smaller than people realise. And I'm kind of just out of space. There's stuff everywhere. I've got no storage. The house is overflowing with trains and bits of my stuff. It's just everywhere. So it was about time I needed to do something. And as well as that, when I did first move here, I did join up a club called Tringham District Model Railway Club, which was around the corner, which is how I met Alan and a couple of the others. So Ross, I already knew James from work. Anthony from AG, I already knew him, but also Richard. And then a little later on, Ollie. So we all became a bit of a friendship group. But it all went sour when a couple of older members kicked off because they've got nothing better to do with their boring, sad lives, when we were trying to save the club because we were losing money and were at risk of losing the club room. So we're doing anything we can to try and bring some memberships in, and they didn't like it. So they're now stuck in a porter cabin in Leighton Buzzard. So good luck to them. But yeah, the sad bit is though, that was all our sort of place to hang out. On a Saturday night, we'd go and get pizzas down there, have a laugh, run some trains. And just chill out, enjoy each other's company. So since then, we've had nothing, unless there's like a model show on or we all happen to turn up at Anthony's shop at the same time, then there's not really been anywhere for us all to meet up. So the idea of this, it was a bit of a jokey thing to call it Club Harefield, because this is sort of going to become a bit of a club room. Obviously we're going to have the layout running all the way around, we're going to have another layout on top, and a bit of a chill space where I can entertain my friends and just have fun. A bit of a chill spot for me and Charlotte as well, maybe in the summer it'd be nice. But yeah, basically I sold my Nissan Skyline GTR, which I've owned for a good number of years now. It was my pride and joy, but the last couple of years of being an adult, I guess, has got in the way of that, and I just haven't got the time to give it the love anymore. So in October, that sadly went to a new home. However, that brought about the opportunity to do this. So when that sold, I finally, after umming and ahhing for ages, put a deposit down on a Pimlico log cabin from London Timber Buildings. And you will now see it get built, which I'm massively excited for. So I'll join you in a bit after I've shown you it getting built and talked you through a few bits. And then we'll hopefully join you in my nice new cabin. See you in a bit. So that's the base marked out. Easily be able to get down the back. And even down this side. Sick. So that was the base marked out then. That was done the day before, and then they all turned up the next day. Ollie and his team, they all worked very hard, so I was much impressed by what they achieved in 2 days, getting it all done. So here they are doing the base, after which they then covered it all up in case it rained, which lo and behold it did naturally. And it's made with a load of resin posts into the ground and then the framework built off that. Now the good thing about that is if I ever move house, there's not a gigantic concrete slab for the next owner to remove if they ever want to take it up. So I thought it was a great idea. So this is it, day one. The base is in, it's all covered up now. And all the logs are under here for building it. So the base is pretty big, but there's just enough room to squeeze down this side so that I can just about get down there to paint it every year, whatever you're supposed to do. And then there's a bit of space around the back. So it has to be spaced away here because our neighbours' garages kindly use our garden for their guttering. Good one, Bovis Homes. But we've got a nice space down here where you could store a few bits. And even down the back, you've got the decking, so it looks pretty good. Then the other side here is quite wide actually, so you can easily walk down the side this end and get stuff down here. The only problem getting stuff down here is obviously the corner, getting it around the corner. So providing you get stuff around the corner, you can store it down there to your heart's content and fill that gap up. But obviously I've got gutter in here and there's a drain there, so we do need access, so it's kind of handy really. But it has to come out because also the cabin is obviously going to have its own guttering, so they've had to take that into account, but it's no biggie. If we go back up here though, the front is here and my paving ends here, so I reckon 1.5 paving slabs and we'd probably get that gap. So I think that's going to be a project. So pave up to the door frame, I reckon. But yeah, there's a lot going on. Well, it's day 2 of the cabin build, so the builders should be here shortly. And as you can see, the sky really isn't playing ball today. It's been absolutely hammering down, so fingers crossed they'll actually turn up. Because the logs, as you can see, they're slightly uncovered there, aren't treated. So it really needs to go up and have a coat of protection put on it. The base is alright because the base is treated, it's tantalised or tantalised, whatever it's called. But yeah, wondering if they will actually come and do it today or not, or if they'll use the rain as an excuse to do it Monday. Who knows, we'll see. Well, much to my delight, they did turn up that morning. Obviously, the weather wasn't really favourable, but luckily they bring a massive marquee with them. You can see how quick it really does go up here. The sides went up so fast. I felt like I looked out the window 1 minute, there was nothing there, and then looked back and suddenly there was a whole cabin. But it's pretty crazy, to be fair. It's a good way that they do it, though, because they basically send it all off and it all gets pre-cut before, so that they essentially arrive with a kit and it all just slots together. There's minimal cutting and messing about on site. Hence, it can all go up in 1 day, maybe 2, depending on what cabin you've got. But yeah, it's also insulated on the floor and ceiling to keep the heat in, so that should hopefully prove very useful. And all that was left to do after was go around with a preservative to make sure that the wood is treated, because obviously you don't want the water getting in there and blowing all the wood. So that gave me some sort of work to do. You can also see my neighbour on the right hand side. He's having some work done anyway, so he was pretty cool with me getting it done. I did let all the neighbours know that can really sort of see in, so that's something to be aware of if you're getting something like this done. I mean, the cabin, although it is massive, it does fall under permitted development because it's only, I think, 2.4 metres tall, things like that, so it all falls within. But just make sure if you're getting anything like this done, you just double check all of that sort of stuff. But yeah, I was massively happy and couldn't wait to get in there and have a proper look. So everyone, me and Milo are absolutely buzzing because the cabin is now complete. The guys have just left, so we're having a little gander. I've still got to paint it with some preservative because it needs 3 coats. They said for the money they'd only do the first coat, so I thought I'd save some cash and do it myself. So that's my next job. I don't know what the cat's doing. So I'm going to go and do that now. But I'll give you a little look of how it is at the minute, just so you can see what it looks like untreated. The only thing is, as it sits currently, my normal garden shed is in front of it because I'm looking to give it away to a friend. So as soon as that's gone, obviously it will open the garden up and we'll have our patio back because we had to move it from the back of the garden. But yeah, so that is just in front of the doors, so that will kind of block your view a little bit. But luckily the door's just about open. But yeah, it's massive and it looks incredible. I'm proper buzzing. Are you excited, Milo? Are you excited? But yeah, I'll turn the camera around and show you around. So it's a little bit dark now. The light is fading, but you can see the cabin. It's a very light coloured wood at the minute. You can see that little bit on the right-hand side. Basically, I've done the rear and that side with the protector. And it's like a dark brown colour, but it will need 3 coats. And then I think we're going to potentially paint it over the top of that, but we'll see how we get on. But yeah, it's massive. As I said, the shed is going to be moving, so don't worry about that for now. The patio actually goes right up to the back of the shed, so you can see my thinking behind where the doors are is that you'll be able to come in and basically walk straight into there without messing about on the grass when I eventually have some. let's not talk about that. If anyone wants to donate some grass seed, then hook me up. But yeah, I'm just using this little gun thing you can see here on the table to spray the preservative. And obviously on the front, I'm going to have to be a bit careful because of the windows. So I'll probably spray the bottom bit and up the sides, and then I'll brush paint the rest just so I don't make a complete mess of it. But yeah, so obviously it's going to change to a nice sort of smooth brown colour and look a bit smarter. But you can see, yeah, it's enormous. Now, it's not so bad really because our garden actually dropped off at the bottom there where it's actually located. I just realised you can see me in the reflection. Hello. Yeah, our garden dropped off, so we never actually used the space. So for us, it just made sense to do something like this. And we back onto 2 garages anyway from the houses behind. So I thought might as well. Had to obviously slip that one past the missus and sort of convince her a bit, which took some doing. But in the end, she came round and hopefully she'll enjoy it. So the plan is obviously to have the layout around the outside, and in the centre is going to be more of a chill spot with some seating, a carpet, and maybe a TV at some point. So yeah, I suppose I'll probably have to wait till tomorrow now to show you the inside of it because it's obviously getting dark here. And by then, obviously, it will be painted with the preservative as well, so it'll be a different colour. But you can see the base colour there, and fingers crossed it all goes to plan and looks nice when it's done. I spent £25 on a floor mat, which she manages to miss. Don't laugh. You're going to lick it off the floor.
What can I say?
Look at that.
You're welcome.
First footprints. So Charlotte is just painting the cabin. Doing a grand old job. You can see the original colour here. We've gone for a light grey. What was the colour of the grey, do you remember?
Glass houses.
Glass houses from B&Q. We only got 2.5 litres though, so we might actually have to get some more. Obviously it's quite a big area to cover. You never know. And at the minute we've just got an extension lead in here with this little lamp. So we've got these big LED lights. I'm putting 6 of them in the roof. So I'm going to try and do that tonight while she's painting, making a mess. Hopefully that'll go well. Wow, what is going on there? Never mind. Yeah, so 6 of them lights, and then going to run a cable, actually a cable down to here. I think there's going to be a switch on the wall here, and then the light is going to go up over the door to where the consumer unit is probably going to go up in the top opposite corner to that. So it would just be in the top corner like here, but on the wall behind me. Nice view. Yeah, so we're getting there. Just a lot of painting to go, get the lights in, and go from there. She can't reach, bless her.
Come on.
Grey's quite nice. What do you reckon, girls? It's all good.
Patchy AF.
It's not actually too bad, to be honest. Considering it's only the first coat and not fully dry, you need to go in between the timbers, that's all. Get rid of them lines a bit. So while Charlotte was working hard painting, doing a grand job, I started fitting the LED light panels. They're £30 a pop from Toolstation. They're basically a load of LED strip with a big light diffuser, and they're actually really bright. When you get them wired up, they're very impressive. So I've just used 1mm Twill and Earth. That should do the job nicely. 6 of them, just some little brackets from B&Q, and that should hopefully provide a good output of light. So we've got the first coat on the walls, courtesy of Charlotte. You can see it's a little bit patchy on this one. This back wall, I've done a second coat, and typical me, you all know what I'm like, getting bored 3/4 of the way through a project. You can see the line where I gave up and I got bored and started doing lights instead, and then just left it, so I'm going to have to go over that again. This wall doesn't look too bad. If I put it on wide angle, you can sort of see a bit more. This wall's not too bad. And then this one is fairly good. Obviously it all needs another coat. I've got a touch in that bit that Charlotte couldn't reach, bless her. And this one's going to definitely need a second coat. But before we do the second coat, obviously you will notice that we've not got paint all the way in between the timbers. So I'm going to go along with the paintbrush and paint in all of that and then do the second coat after. So it'd be stupid to do that after because we're going to have lines all across. But Yeah, I've got two of the lights up as well. You can see the panel lights. They're 600 by 600 LED panel lights. I think they're 6,500, 6,500 K, whatever that is, to do with the brightness, isn't it? So they're very white and they are very bright. So I've got 6 of these, and we're going to obviously have 2 more further down and 2 above where I'm stood. I've just got some cable going down to where this socket is going to be, and I've just basically rigged it up with a chock block connector, you can see there, just down to a plug socket for the extension lead, because obviously I've got no power yet, so that's something to get sorted. But the little inverters and stuff don't look too bad up there, they're quite neatly up there, I think. And the panels are just hung with little L-shaped brackets. You might be able to see one in the corner there. They got up fairly easy, to be honest, so I'm just gonna start doing the rest now. I've got another one down there, but I can't believe how bright these are, considering I'm gonna have 6 in here. When you've got the layouts in here and stuff like that, it's gonna be lovely. As well as that, at some point when I've got a TV, hopefully, on this back wall here, obviously you're gonna sit at this end, so you can have the 2 lights just above you on and turn the other 4 off, because I'm gonna have a triple socket just here. So that'd be nice, because you can turn all the lights off this end to where the TV is and that, and it won't ruin the TV with a load of glare. So that should be pretty good. Another thing we're thinking, which is Charlotte's idea, is paint the window and door frames a different colour. So in our bedroom, we did like a nice dark blue, really dark blue colour. So I'm thinking maybe do that to contrast it, and it would go nice with the grey. Just sort of tarts it up a bit, doesn't it? As for the roof, not sure what to do with the roof yet. We might actually panel it over with some mount board, just because we're cheap and cheerful. I mean, save them pennies and all that. But yeah, I might just get some mount board, to be fair, just white, and then go over that, because it just helped brighten the room that little bit more. But yeah, I'm really glad with the grey. I think we chose quite a nice colour. I'm quite happy with it. I think when it's all done and we've coated it properly, then it's going to look really nice. Obviously, we've got the floor sorted as well. We're going to have a carpet on the floor, like a light grey carpet. That's coming soon. And that should make it a bit more homely. So I can't wait to get this all sorted and start getting a layout in it, to be honest. And here is the result of a day's hard work of painting then. Obviously, it's completely knackered the cat. He's done such a grand job. So it's a well-deserved rest for these two. Look at the teamwork in here.
Look at this.
It's all kicking off today.
Is it?
Turn around there, expect your ass.
We've got drapes on the roller. Steve's making funny squeaky noises.
Hey.
And Anthony's showing everyone his backside.
Slight manager, actually, thank you.
We've got the lights up though, so we're getting there.
Oh!
Look at that go, mate.
Do you want to help? No, he's quite happy.
We won't look at that patchy bit.
Stop!
It's just where it's drying. That'll go smooth.
This is very isolating because we all have COVID.
Not sure what happened there. Look at her go, mate. Professional.
What are you putting me on?
Oh my god. Jesus. Someone's got to do it. So a very successful day today in the new cabin. You can see Harefield's now in here, the scenic area anyway. And Breakspear is on this wall with its new board on the right hand side. I've taken the back seam off it because it was naff anyway, it's down there. It was really flexible and wavy. I need to do something better with that. It also came up sort of about here, so I couldn't open the window. So what I think I'm going to do is, while it's situated in here, I'll make a new back seam piece for it that comes up and then probably comes up to just below the window line. I'll do something like that. or maybe not have a back seam at all. I'm not sure yet. And then obviously if I take it to shows or something, I can always just screw one onto the back and sort something out that way. But yeah, the plan for Harefield is here, and that's now been scrapped straight away because I made a miscalculation. This right hand side board is actually 4 foot instead of 5, which means that you can see this is 2 foot from the edge of the wall. The mark is here. So I'm gonna have a 2x2 square there, which I've got upstairs, and that's just gonna take the tracks round with a 2nd and 3rd radius. I'll try and get a 3rd and 4th in if I can, but if not 2nd and 3rd. Similar to what I had upstairs in the house. And then we have got 9 foot this way, and it works out perfect because if you look here, where the door frame is, then it's just about right. Whereas if this was 5 feet, it'd be sort of over going into the doorway area. So because of that, I have decided to change it all around, which also means that I get to open and close the window, because the plan originally was Harefield was going to sit here, and the back seam for Harefield would probably be up here somewhere. So obviously you'd have no chance. And it looks a bit nicer being over this side anyway, because you can see it as you walk in, which I think is cool. The other advantage of that is I've got pretty much bang on 3 foot this side. So obviously I need a curve going round. I'm thinking of putting a helix in. The bonus of a helix, obviously I can do multiple levels, and I could have some sort of storage underneath or something like that. Not 100% sure yet. I might sack off the idea, I'm not 100%. But yeah, I could obviously go to a storage yard, something like that, which would be really handy for storing trains out of the way, just under the layout. Something that just stays in here permanently and not for exhibitions. But yeah, so 3 foot that side would facilitate that, along with some points for just carrying on round. So that would give me enough space. And along with that, that means that I could also fit another 4 foot scenic board onto this end, because we've got 17 foot in total. So you'd have 3 foot, then you'd have 8. So it's 11. Then I'd have another 4 foot scenic area. That's 15 foot. And obviously that would be a right hand side piece for Harefield, making the centre part of the station here. And then I'd get another 2x2 board in the corner. So, and obviously that would be off scene anyway. So I could just have, again, 3rd and 4th radius curves going around. And then my 5x1 board would fit here nicely, and that would all link up. So it does work to my advantage really, because we can actually expand Harefield, which is something I've wanted to do. I've been thinking about it a lot. All I would do is basically cut the end out of this side and then make this a centre board. So I just do that with the multi-tool. The hard bit is going to be this end, and this is the disadvantage to having this set up. If I had it the other way around with Harefield on this wall and Breakspear over here, then I've actually got enough boards where I could go all the way round and link the layout up the same way it used to be, except for the fact that I would have a couple of boards where I needed to lay track on still. Because obviously this would be back to front, so this board would be over in this corner, and then you'd have the 2x2 again. So I'd have to link the track under there up to the end of there, and that board is also designed to go on the left hand side of Harefield, so I'd have to work it out so that that all linked up to there, because of the whole modular sort of setup. But yeah, so it means that I can't just quickly bolt a load of boards together and start laying track and crack on. What I'm in fact going to have to do is sort out the lift out section and get a load of stuff done from Tim Horn to decide what I'm going to do. So I'm going to have a lift out section here in front of this door. That's going to hopefully hinge up that way. I'd rather it be hinged than lift out. I think it would work a lot nicer. And then in front of this door is going to be a permanent part of the layout. And I'll probably store the 5" gauge stuff under here as well, potentially. We'll see about that. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of sort of storage in here. And for those eagle-eyed, this will be padlocked and bolted. Not that any of you know where I live, but there you go. But yeah, so we're gonna have to get on to Tim and try and get this all linked up, and obviously link up around this side so that I can at least run trains through to here and get something running in and out of the station. It's going to be a bit of an odd one for now, but yeah, I really need to decide about the helix and then go from there. But yeah, as for it is at the minute, very pleased. I'll put it in wide angle. You can see both together there. And the room is really going to come together, I think, when it's all done. We're going to have carpet in the centre. It's going to be a nice little chill spot for me and my friends and my missus. So I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, I've got to say a big thank you to Anthony, Stevie and Ross, who have given me a lot of help the last couple of days. We couldn't have done it without them. So we've got the lights in, we've got the layouts down here, we've got some battening going across the walls. You can see it goes all the way across there. I've got to put some more up tomorrow. It goes across here as well. I've just got a small gap to put in here. But yeah, couldn't have done it without them. So if you are watching, guys, then thank you very much. And I owe you. But yeah, so let's move on. So here we are then up to the day of this video being edited. And here we are with the cabin. So we've got carpet all in here now. All I've got to do is one little offcut in that corner just to fill this little square. Although the layout's going to be above it anyway, so you'll never notice it. But it's so much nicer now having carpet, and it really does stay a lot warmer in here with this as well. You can see obviously I've got some offcuts there to throw out. I've got a oil-filled heater from Tesco. To my surprise, what are the odds of that? £27 it cost me with a club card, so I was well pleased with that, and that keeps it nice and warm in here. So the idea is it obviously heats up, and because it's oil filled, it will stay warm rather than like an electric heater, which doesn't retain any heat. So it basically just switches on and off as and when, and doesn't use ridiculous amounts of electricity. But yeah, the carpet is nice and soft actually. It's just basically a massive offcut, and it happened to just be enough to do this whole space. So naturally I'm very pleased. You can see as well, we've moved all the 5-inch locos in here. Mayflower's at Brent's still, along with my coaches and stuff. So obviously that's not here. We've got the pannier. We've got Ant's 20, my 20. Sherlock Holmes is over there in the back corner. The Western's down here, the brake van, the Sentinel. And then I also got this new brake van body from Jamie, if you remember him from Reality Miniature. Sorted me out this, so that's going to be quite a nice little project to make another brake van. Probably do it to match this one. So yeah, I just need to get some tracks in here because the idea is I want to be able to wheel my trolley up to this door, which will only open to get 5-inch in and out. And then I'll basically have a little bridge piece that goes between the door frame and the trolley so I can wheel locos in and out and just sort of pull them along rather than have to fight against the weight of them because they do weigh a ton. But yeah, so they're all out of the house now, so Charlotte's much happier. The layout, so 8x2 Harefield. I've sacked off the helix idea for now. So this is basically Harefield's original setup. So we've got 8x2 Harefield scenic area, 2x2 board in the corner just to get the curves round, and then a 4x2 here. And you can see this is where brake spear went off. So it gives you an idea of just how much more space I have when you consider brake spear's right over here. So obviously I'm buzzing. I am quite tempted for now just to knock up a couple more of these little legs just to have brake spears sat here just so for now until I get the new boards I can use it just for filming and stuff and messing about. But yeah, the idea is Harefield's going to stay where it is now. Out of here I might change this to a 3rd and 4th radius because this is actually a 2nd and 3rd. The reason for a 2nd and 3rd is I can have this small piece of straight section coming straight out, so it means that trains don't come into the scenic area on a slant. It just looks a bit nicer when you're viewing it from down here and a train comes in, but I might keep it like that because it does sort of work. I'm not sure yet, but I am thinking of having a low relief sort of scenic break here of the tracks coming out of a tunnel or two, just because obviously that is a tight curve. It doesn't look very realistic, so I wouldn't mind hiding it, to be honest. But what I'm thinking is, yeah, 2 tunnels and then sort of build it up to sort of half this height so that when you look from down here, because this is going to be scenic as well, it'll just look like normal. But you can get over the top if something derails, for example. This track's all going to come up. This junction's going to go. There's going to be a set of points here somewhere, probably around here-ish, because I do want to have a small ballast yard in this corner. Like I say, the boards are going to be 2 foot up to the door. So in this sort of area down here, I want to have a yard for loading my IOA ballast wagons. I think that'd be pretty cool. And it just makes use of that corner, because otherwise it will just become an unused corner like this one, if you know what I mean. Because the curves are going to sweep round a bit more, so we'd have quite a bit of space in the back corner, similar to this, but more. But yeah, so this is basically just going to be straight, and then it's going to start gradually curving round rather than a sharp radius. And then yeah, ballast corner, ballast, and then yeah, ballast yard in the corner next to the main lines with a run round. That should be pretty cool. And then obviously we'll have a lift out section, which is going to be nice and simple. I will scenic it, but it's going to be sort of function over form. Lifting it out or hinging it is the priority, so that's going to come first. Coming over to here, this is again the new board for brake spear, just to extend it. So this is going to be fairly simple as well. It's going to be pretty just generic track plan, like 2 main lines running down the back and the branch along the front edge. And the street scene is going to carry on, hence we have got the split buildings. So obviously I've got to build this level up. This building is going to sit up here, and then the road is going to go off diagonally that way, and then probably do something over there to make it look a bit prettier. One thing I'm thinking is remove the scissor crossing. I don't need it anymore, and it is just trouble waiting to happen. So I might simplify this just with normal points, and I might also rip the whole lot of the track up and replace it all with code 75. The reason being is I would quite like to use bullhead on the branch line and the ballast depot and the London Underground depot when I get round to that, which I'll come on to in a sec. So I think you just bite the bullet and potentially rip all this up and start again. For now, I will probably concentrate on getting the layout to run. I'll build the rest with 75, and then I'll just sort of make adjustments so that I can run it for now. And then at some point I will take the plunge and rip all this up, because my platforms are too high anyway. So either way I've got to do it. Also, while I'm doing that, because Harefield's going to gain another 4 foot of scenic area, the bay platform that you can see here is going to be extended onto the next board. So this is all going to go. This is going to move that way. So the plan is basically the same again, but just extend the platform this way. And the mainline platforms will probably come to sort of the 3 foot mark, maybe another 2 or 3 feet on the mainline platforms, and then probably, it's hard to say, another foot on the branch. I reckon that would work nicely. So yeah, another 4 foot scenic board. You can see the mark there, and then we've got a 3x2 board that's going in this corner, 5x2 along this end, and a 2x2 over there. And the plan with these is they're all going to drop down 11 centimeters. So on brake spear, you've got the baseboard height is here. The next board, the baseboard height is going to be here. And I'm basically going to build up to the main lines as if it's on an embankment. I want to do something that's got a little bit of height to it. I think it'll look cool. As well as that, I want to have my other spare 5x1 board that I've got but not built yet. That's going to sit here at that level. And that is basically going to be a head shunt to come back on yourself into a set of sidings or a depot of some sort, just for a bit of operational interest, which is going to sit behind here. And that will allow me to store my underground trains, which are a faff to get apart, and I don't want to break the couplings and stuff, so I'd rather leave them complete on the layout. But the idea is where the 4 foot of Harefield ends, straight out of that we'll have a junction. So the main lines will carry on round and then go across the top, back into the back of brake spear. And then we'll have another line coming off to the left, going round the perimeter, and it's going to dip down and under the main lines, and that's going to go to the head shunt. So that's going to be the entry road to the depot. And because it is the entry, it's going to obviously be downhill, so it doesn't matter how steep it is. So this is something we've thought about quite a lot. So the exit road for the depot is actually going to come in front of the main lines and join back up here. So in effect, the main lines are going to run in the middle of the two, and then obviously up and over the top of just the one. But that's the plan for that. I think that'll be really cool. I'll just show you the plan now on a drawing. I've drawn it out just so you can see what I'm sort of getting at. Obviously it's not to scale, so don't overly worry about it. But you can just see what I mean with the depot area down the bottom right. And then what we're going for with some sort of ballast yard over the left. Obviously it's just scribbles, so don't take it as completely accurate, but I have had Richard from Garforth do me a track plan on Anyrail, just a basic one to make sure it all fits, and it does look like it'll work. So that should be quite exciting. We've got the depot then up here. As I say, it's wall mounted now. It's nice and out of the way. It's at a decent height. So this is the camera at my eye level. So it's perfect because you just can't see the top of the back scene. And once this is done, it's going to look really cool. It just means that someone can be messing about on Harefield. Like you'll have 2 or 3 people operating on here because you've got the branch line, the main lines, the depot. And someone can be up here playing with this as well. So just gives you a bit of interest if you don't want to play on the main layout. And it's also something that I could quite easily exhibit if I really wanted to, if it ever got to that stage. It's going to need a lot more work, but it's potential for the future. One other thing that I want to just bring up, it was recently my 30th birthday, and Charlotte's mum and dad kindly got me this GWR clock with Harefield Road and the year of my birth, 1992, on it. And I'm really chuffed with this, so I don't think they'll watch my videos, but if they ever do, thank you so much. I absolutely love it. So I thought it's got to take pride of place. So it sits up there above the Baker Street sign and my 2 roundels that I've got. And yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing. Every time we go on holiday, the holiday house we use has a GWR clock, and I'm always eyeing it up. So it's nice. It's a nice thought from them to think about that. But yeah, so we're just making it more homely, and obviously got to wait for baseboards to arrive, and we can really crack on. So that just leaves me to say thank you for watching this probably very long-winded video. I know there's no trains running, but fingers crossed you found it somewhat interesting anyway. Obviously I'm excited now. I have some space to actually move and do stuff. So I'm absolutely buzzing. I can't wait to have friends around in the summer, well, all year round really, and just enjoy the space, have somewhere we can all hang out, get some pizzas in, cause havoc, crash Thomas the Tank Engine trains into each other, like you saw earlier. Whatever happens really, and just somewhere decent that I can work on stuff. I can get the 5-inch gauge out on a table or a stand in here and work on that if I need to. And it's just the start of something pretty exciting. So that just leaves me to say thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it all and it's not been too boring. Sorry there's no trains running, but I'm sure you can understand why. I might rig Harefield up just so that I can get some stuff running, but we'll see. So hopefully it won't be too long. But yeah, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thanks for always commenting on stuff and putting your likes in. Again, it doesn't cost you anything if you're worried about all that. I'm not one of these people that charges for Patreon and all that sort of stuff just so you can get a video a day early. Who cares? But yeah, I just do it for fun. So thank you for all coming on the journey with me, and hopefully see you again with some more videos. Take care for now. Bye.